Hey everyone, I want to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which is set to release on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC on June 30th. And today we're going to be checking out the fact that Capcom has went ahead and confirmed that they are actually going to be hosting a brand new Capcom showcase, revealing not just new information on already revealed games, but of course they're going to be talking about brand new games reveals as well. Of course, the E3, or what used to be called the E3 season, is right upon us. Game reveals and pretty much all types of presentations are going to be happening this week, and Capcom did not wish to be left behind. So they basically confirmed through their Twitter feed. Originally, they made a post that said, introducing the new Capcom Showcase, a new live stream digital event bringing you the latest Capcom's game information. Tune in for June 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, that would be 6 p.m. Eastern time, for about 35 minutes of news and in-depth updates on previously announced Capcom titles. Now, of course, we know that Sunbreak is set to launch on the 30th, so this is going to be pretty much a couple of days, about 2 weeks or so before the game actually launches. And you have to remember that just last year, the Capcom E3 Showcase 2021 also took place. In it, not only did we get to see a whole bunch of brand new trailer information for Monster Hunter Stories 2, which at the time, of course, it was one of the relevant games that they were promoting, which that is no longer the case, but also they showcased a little bit of a trailer for Monster Hunter Rise version 3.1 update. Remember, we used to get a lot of smaller updates almost on a monthly basis, and at the time they went ahead and showcased a trailer giving us all the information that was going to be becoming available for Monster Hunter Rise at the time. So now that we're pretty much almost right around the corner when Sunbreak launches, we are most likely going to get a brand new reveal trailer. It's funny because I was just actually preparing and doing the outline for my most upcoming video, where I was going to be talking about my predictions for the new Capcom presentation, which I originally thought could have actually happened at the Summer Game Show with Jeff Keighley, or maybe at the upcoming Nintendo Direct, which everyone is expecting a Direct. Just at the time of this recording, Nintendo has not revealed one just yet, but we are all expecting one to happen, presumably by the end of the week. But now we don't have to worry about that anymore, because Capcom went ahead and confirmed they are going to be hosting their very own presentation, and we're just using last year as base. Last year when they had their E3 showcase, they went ahead and showcased Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories as well. So, of course, Monster Hunter is going to be part of this presentation as well. Within their posts themselves, they do link back to a specific page in the News Capcom USA blog that they have, and they made a very quick post there where it actually says, Capcom Showcase kicks off on June 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Once again, that is 6 p.m. Eastern time. It continually reads as follows: a newly live-streamed digital event is on the way. The Capcom Showcase has you covered on the latest news and updates for upcoming Capcom games. Tune in on Monday, June 13th, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time for the Capcom Showcase live stream. We'll be diving deeper into details on news of previously announced titles. You can also check out the show live for the official Capcom Twitch and YouTube channels. It'll be about 35 minutes, so sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. Of course, interestingly enough, however, they also did make a post on the original Capcom creators page. Now, I'm not at liberty to share that here, and I'm not really trying to get into trouble with that, but they do specifically have a very interesting sentence there that I do want to share with you guys. And it's basically the same stuff that I just read off, but with another added sentence as well. It says, viewers will get an exclusive look at Capcom's upcoming releases, and then in parentheses, and maybe get treated to an announcement or two. So they are basically not only saying, yes, of course, we're going to showcase information on, well, they just showcased Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation State of Play, I believe was what that was called. We know Sunbreak is going to be part of this. They have other games as well that I believe have already been revealed. I believe the dinosaur game, I forget the Exo Primal or whatever that was. Man, that felt almost like forever ago when they revealed that. And then now they're saying, yes, we're going to showcase some of those games, but of course we're going to showcase a brand new announcement or two, which is, of course, exciting as well. Now, transitioning over to actual predictions as to what do I expect Capcom to go ahead and showcase. Well, of course, a brand new trailer is just pretty much primed and ready. Now, what does that trailer actually will reveal us and tell us? Well, that's really going to boil down to what Capcom is choosing to showcase based on what a lot of people's demands have been as of late. Do remember that last month they said that they were going to talk about in June, and we are now in June, they were going to talk about the post-launch updates, the digital updates essentially that the game gets after it launches. So presumably in July, August, and monthly by monthly basis, we're going to be getting post-launch updates just like Monster Hunter Rise did, and presumably based on some of the information that I've seen, they are going to last for about a year. That seems to be the ongoing thing that Capcom is doing now, supporting a game post-launch. Iceborne was no different. Monster Hunter World was no different. Rise was no different. Sunbreak will not change tradition in any way, shape, or form in that regard. So first and foremost, they are going to talk about that at the very least at the back of the trailer. They're going to give us a little bit of a roadmap, telling us what is going to be happening at the after launch of the game. Whether they actually mention new monsters launching, after the game launches, we'll have to wait and see. But based on some of the developer interviews, which I've already put out 2 developer interview videos, I also have another one on the way, which I do want to release probably before this presentation happens, because again, I'm just trying to compile all the information together so I could give you guys a better understanding as to what it is that is actually happening. In one of the developer interviews, they do mention that there are going to be post-launch updates, and they didn't necessarily want to confirm that there's going to be monsters, but they're basically saying there's going to be monsters. So they didn't really want to do all the wording. Maybe it was a translation thing. I can't speak to that. I'm going to talk about that in a specific video very soon when I actually finish editing it, because I'm trying to get that done properly. But we should be able to get new monsters post-launch as well. So when it comes to this official trailer, what can we actually expect to see? Well, everyone is talking about, of course, the brand new jungle map. Everyone is convinced about a brand new jungle map. I recently put out a video. I love the replies that I got from you guys. Very happy that everyone just seems to kind of disagree. Everyone has their own opinions on whether the showcased gameplay that we did get with the hunter fighting a Tetranodon, whether that actually took place in the Citadel, whether that actually took place in the Flooded Forest, whether that actually takes place in a different map altogether, or whether that actually takes place in a remastering or a reimagined version of the jungle from Monster Hunter 2, I believe is what people said. Everyone seems to have differing opinions on this, and I love it, because ultimately it means that almost no one knows anything. I certainly do not, and we're all just kind of like giving our perspective on that, and I certainly am welcome to that idea where everyone just kind of cannot agree, but they're polite about it, so therefore it's always good conversation. So if they do showcase the jungle, I'm okay with that. I have no issues with another new map. I originally spoke about, when they spoke about Sunbreak, that I was very happy when they made multiple mentions of plural, as in multiple maps were going to be introduced, but they just kept showing the Citadel over and over and over again. So then I became a little bit disillusioned, and I kind of like regretfully kind of resigned myself to the idea that they were just going to have one new map. If they decide to actually showcase another new map, I'm completely happy with that. I thought that originally that they would, but then I was kind of like resigned, since the Citadel is pretty much all we ever got to see. Only up until the most recent set of gameplays that we did get with the developer interviews and stuff like that, that we actually even get to see the underground of the Citadel, which for the longest time we didn't even know that was a thing. So, we actually got a pretty good look at the underground Citadel now, so we even know what that's going to be like, which, we went a long time without actually knowing what to expect there. Now, I'm not really going to make monster predictions, because I most recently just spoke about how much I just really want to see new monsters. I'm happy for monsters returning. I'm all excited for them giving us more monsters that, we are, used to from the previous games. But I would much rather prefer to see just new monsters, or maybe even subspecies of monsters as well. If they want to keep bringing back old monsters that we haven't seen, to me personally, they have to be unique, they have to be different, they have to be something that we haven't necessarily expected, or we wouldn't expect to see coming back. Amatsu always comes to mind for me, because it's just one of those like so different monsters that there's almost nothing like it. So to me, more uniqueness, more interesting monsters like that if they're going to come back, but I would much rather take new monsters in general. With that said, I certainly want them to speak specifically on the difficulty of Master Rank, and if they are going to be adding, which presumably we all think that they are, but I would love some confirmation from them that they are going to give us post-launch event quests that are going to be real nail-biting, almost one-hit type of event quest, where we are just going to go back over and over again, fail until we finally get it. I do love those like strenuous event quests where they just really give us hell. The monsters are not easy. They're not pushovers at all. And yes, Master Rank, G Rank has always been somewhat difficult depending on your skill gauge. But now I would certainly love to see those like brutal Ivory Lagiacris is always what I think of in like Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii U, I think is what it was. I did that quest probably 50 times because I would just keep failing it over and over. And eventually I got it. And it was like the most exhilarating thing ever. So, you know, I would love to see that again. I would certainly love to see, you know, that kind of level of difficulty come back only because, you know, it just reminds me of the old days of Monster Hunter. But I certainly want to hear your guys' takes on this showcase presentation from Capcom. And of course, what do you think Capcom is going to showcase when it comes to the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak trailer as well? If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive the notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.